Hi everyone. So we're back for another Tiny Seeds, and today I want to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart. And it really has a lot to do with how I managed to get onto my journey of healing and growing and finding peace. It's so closely connected to it. So bear with me. So let me tell you my story. So this is we're going back 14 years. Um, yeah, approximately. My relationship's fallen apart, and for the first time in my life, I am I am becoming teachable. I am I am falling apart so spectacularly that I've got none of my normal defenses left. Those I'm looking okay defenses. No, I'm not talking to people. I'm not telling people how in what a bad way I am. So, I my thyroids were not working. I think my adrenals already at that stage have given out. And I was utterly in shock and having long-term relational post-traumatic stress disorder without knowing it. And so through a medical, somebody gave me the right paper to read, and I could start doing research. And then I, with another amazing person, could start uh, a group. So the two of us started a group, and we worked together. Now, she had more experience than me, and I learned something amazing from her, which was be teachable. It was basically change every single thing that you are used to doing. Like let go of everything. Let's start all over. And look, it makes sense because whatever it is that I believed so firmly in, and I believed in everything so firmly, I believed that my thought processes were right. And it's fairly obvious. Like, why would we have a thought process and an outlook and behaviors if we don't think they are right? But I just never ever realized that these were my leftover survival tactics for getting through that childhood. And so I became teachable. I became vulnerable. I became open. And it was a learning process. It wasn't easy. And the group, I will give it to you, was small. It was first two people, then three. Then after quite some time, it was four, and then five, and then six. We stayed about seven, eight. But it was very manageable. And then eventually I started getting better. This was a 2 3 year process. This was a 2 3 year process where I managed to get through a lot of my trauma and had a safe place to talk. Learned a lot of new outlooks. Really learned through the adult child program, through the group process, learned how to be different in the world. And this is really important because part of my process before was to be okay in the world. Look okay no matter where I am or not, and be very self preserving, very careful who I let into my life, and most definitely never, ever groups. More than two people at a time. Oh no, absolutely not. I would just become quiet and pull back and let the other people do their thing. So for me now to be able to be part of groups, to be the group leader, to have facilitated so many groups through these last 12 years, it is an enormous step. I and people say to me, Louise, you can't be an introvert because you're so easy in a group and with people, and you say anything and you reach out to people and you make friends easily. And it's the opposite of who I was. So it's a few things which I want to point out. So first of all, when we have this very definite thing that we've been saying forever, I don't do groups, or I don't like people, or I don't trust people easily. It comes from such a long time. You will check on yourself and reflect, and you will see you've been saying this forever, for as long as you can remember. This is just a childhood survival mechanism. You can learn different things, but you've got to become teachable. And as long as you hold on to those very adamant, it is like it is. And this is just how I am. As long as you do that, you cannot be teachable. So you've got to let go. You've got to become utterly, utterly teachable. You've got to be willing to try new things. You've got to be willing to examine new ways. And yes, I help people in one-on-one situations. I do that, obviously. This is part of my job. But the group brings something different. And then what happens is that we, because we need to learn how to be different in the world, we have to learn how to be with people. We have to learn how to be with people of all kinds, of all stages of health, of really people that we would normally be very careful about, or just, be so self-contained that we don't even try, or so intimidated that this person I would never even try and be a friend with. Now, all of those things go away, but our testing ground, our playground, is the group environment. This is the one which is safe because there's no judgment allowed. If you're having a problem with judgment, you need to talk to the group facilitator. Just not allowed, because we can all only be safe if there is no judgment. And it's part of our healing. And the more we heal, the less judgment we have, the more we understand everybody else have got the same problems. I feel at home here. I'm not the only one. I can relax here. These people are becoming my family. The one that I wish I had, the one I never had. It is the most amazing thing that happens. And I know that because, group members from 14 years ago, you don't have to even see them all the time because you don't stay active in the group for 14 years. That would be me because I facilitate the groups. But the group's always there, and you know that. And you know the people that you became close to, they're always there. And you can jump into it and you can use your skills anytime to help other people. But it starts there in that group place. So no judgment of other people, and everything. A very, very tight rule about this is absolutely everything that gets said in the group stays in the group. You don't talk about it. You don't go and spill somebody else's secrets. You don't go be gossip. That gets you out of the group immediately. So everybody has to be safe. And the third one is very obvious until you think about it. We should know this. Nobody can do it for somebody else. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to try something new. Can't do it for you. So what happens in counseling normally is that any form of self-esteem coaching, whatever it is that I do for you, you come in, and you normally come in because you have some sort of emergency. And I have to help you out of emergency before we can stabilize you. And so we spend a lot of time with your immediate problems. So the first 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions is about getting you stabilized, getting you to function better in your life, to start believing in yourself more, to learn new communication skills. All of those very valid, very directed at you personally, personalized help for you, personalized ways to communicate so that your problems can become easier to handle, personalized ways to look at your own outlooks and your own contribution to whatever is going on. All amazing stuff. But there's more. There's so much more. And that so much more I do courses for. So I've got a lot of courses where you can, and they're all self-drives. You can go do it on your own. And I will then just hope, please, please, please finish it, because a lot of people who buy courses don't finish them. Yeah, they're very affordable. So because they're not expensive, people may be tempted to think, I'll get to it eventually. I didn't spend that much on it, $49, whatever. It's not the end of the world. But when you show up in a group, whether you yourself is telling a story, or you yourself is asking the question, or you yourself is bringing the problem at that moment, or whether we read something and we discuss it, or whether we listen to somebody else's problem, you are guaranteed to learn something, to pick up something, to realize something. And sometimes you sit in the group for a few weeks, and then suddenly you go like, oh, this is what they've been saying all along. Now I'm getting it. Now I'm ready. And you learn to accept people that you've never would have, and you learn to live with people. And sometimes we're difficult people. Sometimes we are very reactive people. Reactive people need help. Reactive people upset other people. We need to learn to regulate ourselves in the group environment, not get upset by reactive people. Sometimes we are very dependent people. Sometimes we are people who ask a lot of questions and who want to have a lot of time for themselves. All of these things we need to learn to handle. Overall, the experience is so magical. And in the group, we learn one of our biggest assets and one of the most neglected assets. And here's Muffin. Okay, Muffin, come sit. Say hi. Okay, sit, Muffin. We learn to be vulnerable because vulnerable, we see it as a thing we just don't want to be. We're scared of being judged. We fear that people will think less of us, will like us less, or see right into our deepest, darkest corners and reject us. No, wait, Muffin, behave. And in the group, because of the acceptance and the support, and knowing you're not the only one, at last, you're one of a tribe. You learn that you can be vulnerable. And once you learn that in the group, the next step is to do it with other people in the wide world out there and figure out you're not going to die from this. It actually brings you closer to people. It gives you depth in your relationships. It is the most amazing thing. It's hard for us to accept and to learn and to, it's a skill. It's a skill to be really vulnerable because a lot of us don't even know how to be really vulnerable. We say I'm speaking my truth, and then we just really trying to judge or blame somebody else instead of really figuring out what it means to be truly vulnerable and pull people into our circle by letting them see who we really are. And that's another one, letting people see who we really are. We've got to practice in a safe place. Then one more thing which is so important about groups, and that is that our traumas, small traumas, we call it small T traumas, big T traumas, little normal traumas that everybody goes through. And then sometimes some of us have got huge traumas that we had to go through as children, and also our adult traumas, because those are often the thing that is going to let us finally go for help and make us ready to join a group or go for therapy. So all of these traumas, when we tell our stories in safe places, we work through them. We let it go. We learn how to self-regulate. We learn how to look at it differently, we take the bite out of it. We have a safe place. We have people who care for us. We have people who surround us with support. And when we do that, we work through shame. We work through the heartache. We get better. We learn how to take care of ourselves. We learn to love ourselves better, all because of this group. So I am the biggest fan ever of groups, and I've been working since this whole COVID disaster started. I've been trying to work to find a model to get people online all over the world. A lot of the original people who's been in the groups all along, Muffin behave, are all over the world, miss everyone, and a lot of new clients are all over the world. All my clients are allowed into the groups. I do not allow people into groups who are not either in my group programs or in my programs, that's because I get to know people personally in the programs, or our clients. I have to know people. That is what makes it safe. And that is what helped me keep it safe for everyone. I'm not allowing strangers in. So for everyone who has never had a group experience, who has always been too scared, I want you to look at your inner language, and I want you to understand that it's just a self-protective mechanism. It's contracting you. It's not allowing you to expand. And we are all about expanding in order for us to be fully actualized human beings, to be our most best self. So we really have to learn to expand ourselves. Nothing better than the group process. It's been one of the best experiences of my life. It still is. So I've got a place now online. It's called Heartbeat. We meet once a month. It is an amazing situation. And even if you are not in the groups, all my live programs, every single thing that I do live is in a group. So you become part of a group. They're usually small groups, anything between 6 and maybe 13, 14 if I do a big group. But usually really not bigger than that. That's my normal group. Everybody gets attention. I am there and it's safe. And you don't have to participate more than you feel comfortable with. And a lot of people do one group session and then they do another course, like do the self-worth, then do the limiting beliefs. When they become brave, when they get to the limiting beliefs, they will post one or twice, do another one. But it is in those challenges and in the posting and in the sharing and in doing the homework and in reading everybody else's posts and supporting them and cheering them on and clapping hands. It's in all of that that's part of our growing. And that gives us the free ticket into my monthly meetings. And I have many people who've been hesitant about it, who's been scared about it, have said to me, this is the best thing ever, the best thing. I know it is. I know it is amazing. I really do want you to consider it and to get yourself an easy way into it. So the easiest way is get one of my self-help courses. Or if you're one of my clients already, just say, hi Louise, I want to join. I'll let you in immediately. We'll give you the link, you can join. We'll put you on the mailing list into the special group for it. And you'll get your reminder and you'll get your link and we will chat once a month. It's an hour, 2 hours, depending on how many people have got questions. And look out for the next online course, but will also ease you in. There's a masterclass nearly every month. There's a 1.5 hour masterclass on a very specific topic. And if it interests you, jump in and join. And I guarantee you, if you keep on showing up, you just keep on showing up, something in you is going to change and it's going to help you become really still the same person, but just more of you, the person you were always supposed to be. So, yeah, I'm sure you can figure out. This is really, really, really important to me. I've worked very hard to get to this point. It's taken me 3 years of working behind the scenes and doing all of this work behind the scenes to get to a place where I can recreate that group experience all over the world. And I can't wait to join you in there. That is, yeah, I'm very excited about this. So I'm sending you much love. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way here, all you have to do is say to me, Louise, how do I get in? That's all. Send me an email. I answer all my emails. This is all real. This is all a human reading it. So looking forward to meeting you soon, getting to know you better, and helping you get to that peace and joy that I have every day. No matter what kind of shit happens in life, I'm able to always get back to it. So much love to you and appreciate the time that you spend um, watching this. So until the next time, much love. Bye bye.